Hello everyone, this is Nickredace. Today I'm coming at you with a brand new video about tech cards. These are cards that can be sprinkled into pretty much every deck. Just add a little bit more universal utility. So I'm gonna jump straight into it with some of the newer ones, and then go back to some of the older school ones. So the newest one I found, which was when I was making a Dark Magician deck, which is coming out fairly decently, and that is Mahad the Protector Priest. Now, the reason he's a tech card is because his beginning effect is when you draw him, reveal him, and then you can special summon him. You can just, whenever you draw him, special summon a level 7, 2500 attack, 2100 defense. So pretty much it's like special summoning a Dark Magician when you draw it. If he battles Dark Monster, his attack becomes double, which is 5000, during damage step only, and if he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Dark Magician from anywhere. That is insanely good in Dark Magician decks. Especially since there's a lot of cards that I'll show you later when I do a Dark Magician deck for fun. But anyway, that's a great card simply because even if you don't run a Dark Magician deck, it's great against Dark Monsters, and when you draw him, you instantly special summon him. And he's level 7. Next, we have the next card, which is like the coolest one I found, and that's Yugioh the Cubic Spawn. Pretty simple effect. When he can't be destroyed by battle, that's his continuous effect. And at the end of damage step, after he's been attacked, like after you battle with another monster by being attacked or attacking with him, you can place one cubic counter on their opponent's monster, and then he gets placed in spell zone as a continuous spell card. That cubic counter means that that monster cannot attack and their effects are negated. So that's pretty broken. That's pretty much, that's just as broken as you can get. Just negating the monster's effects, and it can't attack. And this doesn't target. And it can't be destroyed in battle. The second effect that makes it broken, because if that was it, it wouldn't be too bad, because it's only a one-time use. But its second effect is you can special summon it from the continuous spell zone. So you can just recycle it over and over again. I just dropped this in my Crystal Beast deck when I saw its effect. I was like, yep, never not going to use this. So that's Yugioh the Cubic Spawn. Next one is another Indestructible by battle, Reptilian Naga. Reptilian Naga is okay. It has one slight downfall, and that's the fact that at the end phase it switches itself to face of attack, which means you can still get OTK'd, but on that first set, your opponent attacks into it, that monster now has 0 attack that attacked it. And it can't be destroyed in battle. So if you have that one card that protects your life points if you have a monster, Reptilian Naga is a must. It's still just a really good card to just get rid of opponent's boss monsters, if you're willing to take the damage, or if you have that special trap card. The next three, I'm not going to get too much into them. They're the 3 Gradles. Need I say more? Taking your opponent's monsters will always be good. Very rarely will there be a downside. I kind of put them in rank of which one would be used first. You'd have Eagle 3, Alligator is more of a 2, and then Cobra is a 1, because a lot of people use cards that destroy from use of trap. I mean, there's still Torrential Tribute out there, but not as much. Regeki, you take out Alligator, and Eagle, well, Dark Destroyer and all that. Next is another tech card, Great Modular Zet. Not much to say. He works great in Pendulum decks, Monarch decks. Very good card. Very simple effect. You tribute one monster, summon him, and he gains the attack of double the attack the monster you tributed for him. He's better with cards like Stormforth, because then you can just be like, oh, you've got a strong card. then tribute your opponent's monster, and Garzette comes out with double its attack. You know, Dark Destroyer, boom, Dark Destroyer's gone, and you have a 6,000 attack Garzette. Pretty good. Next is the Creator 2, Create Incarnate, which is just add consistency to help summon the Creator. Creator's effect is he can't be summoned from the graveyard, and I know why, because then he'd be broken as shit. And his effect is once per turn, you can select one monster in your graveyard, then send one card from your hand to the graveyard and special summon that monster. If he could be summoned from the graveyard, he would be like the King of Shadows, simply because his effect would activate their ability, and then he could summon any card from your graveyard. Really good card, but it's kind of hard to put him in decks nowadays because the game runs so much faster. But you know what? It's still pretty good. Next card, you got Powerful Rebirth. The reason I put him in here is because he's this is a Call the Haunted that can't be MST negated. You activate this, they activate MST, you still get your monster out. Because this doesn't have the little clause that if this is destroyed, destroy the monster. So if they MST it, you still get your monster. Phantom Sword. Phantom Sword is like safe zone without the destroy your monster if this card is destroyed. First off, if the monster gains 800 attack, that's a good amount of attack. Also, if that target would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy Phantom Sword instead. Really good. Also, that means if your opponent activates Regeki, this negates Regeki. So, very good card. I had it in my Zombie Mach 2 deck. But yeah, it's a very good card. Next is the First Monarch. Pretty much, if you're going to have any tribute decks, you need the First Monarch. He's a special summon, and you can make him be treated as 2 tributes. Need I say more? Corrupted Keys is pretty much an XYZ OTK card. I used it with Photon Galaxy, you know, Galaxy Photons, and, you know, 4,000 attack monsters. You just summoned 3 more 4,000 attack monsters. Yeah, they cannot declare direct attacks and can't be tributed, but you're never going to tribute them. But that's a fuck ton of damage on the board now. Very good tech card. Next are the 3 non-regular Mirror Forces. I'll just fix that. You have Storming Mirror Force, which returns all the monsters to your opponent's hand. It's good for synchros and XYZs, getting rid of them. Sandstorm Mirror Force, it's good for just, if your opponent has a full field or close to it, it just stops them. Really good one. Drowning Mirror Force is better than Storming, but Drowning requires you to be attacked directly. But pretty much shuffle all of the opponent's monsters back to the deck. That's pretty good. Now, another one is Solemn Wishes, which not a lot of people use, ever. And it's a pretty good card due to the fact that it's 1,000 every 2 turns. And that's if you're not using a drawing deck. Regular just draw. That can save you from death a few times. That's about it. Defense draw. Like pretty much if you're about to be OTK'd, they attack, you activate this, you draw a card. If you have Solemn Wishes, you draw a card, gain 500, and you receive 0 battle damage. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Negate the attack, set again. Jar of Avarice and Localized Tornado. Jar of Avarice is good because it's a smaller local tornado. Shuffles some of your more important cards in the deck and you draw one. And Local Tornado is more of a recycling your entire deck card. You usually only run 2, or in this case, 1. If you have Jar of Avarice and Localized Tornado, you only need 1 Local Tornado. You set it, and hopefully you don't have anything in your hand, activate it, all your shit goes back into the deck. If you have Jar of Avarice, you can activate Localized Tornado, and then afterward, Jar of Avarice to shuffle Local Tornado back into the deck. Continue. Wabaku, again, another anti-OTK card. Negate all battle damage and monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. This is one that a dueling network has taught me that to just watch out for. Rank up magic, the 7th one. Pretty much, you draw it, you can summon an XYZ monster between number 101 and 107, and its C version on top of it. So we're talking Tachyon Dragon, Dark Honor, and it's a free draw pretty much. The problem with it is, the only negate bad part is if you get it in your starting draw, it doesn't work, which means it's useless. So that's about it. Poly, there's a lot of shit that uses Poly nowadays. Like, watch, Venom. Star Venom Fusion Dragon. I mean, yeah, it's a fairly new card, but 2 non-token dark monsters. And all you need is a Poly. And there's a lot of them, like, I mean, there's just so many new fusion cards that are generic that Poly really is something you should invest in if your deck can support a fusion. Like, again, my Zombie Mach 2, or Mach 3, I should say, is going to be using Star Venom Fusion Dragon in addition to the other Poly Dragon. Because it can, and these cards are pretty damn good. And because it works with the deck. You know. Next, we have Supply Unit. Supply Unit's pretty simple. If you lose a card by battle, if a monster is destroyed by battle card effect, you draw a card. That's about it. Pretty simple, pretty easy to use. Just extra drawing power. Next you have Galaxy Cyclone, target 1 set spell. It's pretty much a much better MST. Alright. MST, oh, it's quick play spell. Yeah, but this can destroy a set card. Then next turn destroy a face up card. Which is good for game of cards like Vanity's Fiend. Not Vanity's Emptiness. And other continuous cards while getting rid of the main back row. I prefer it to MST. The next 2 cards are Claw of Hormonos and Fang of Citrus. Claw of Hormonos can give you pretty much... Alright, let's just... Claw of... Here we are. Claw of Hormonos gives you these cards. For Dragon decks, we have the Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword. I use this in the new Blue Eyes deck I'm making as well. Must be summoned, special summoned using Claw of Hormonos using a Dragon-type monster. And cannot be special summoned by other ways. If this card special summoned, target 1 other face-up monster in the field, equip this card to it. It gains 1,000 attack. That's 1,000 plus attack right off the bat. It then gains 500 attack and defense for each Dragon-type monster in the field and in the graveyards. Which means in the Blue Eyes Dragon deck, this thing is going to massively boost the fuck out of a monster's attack. So, that's just that. For warrior decks, we have Goddess Bow and Rocket Hermos Cannon. Goddess Bow means that during the battle phase, your opponent activates an effect. Goddess Bow instantly negates that effect, and allows that monster to attack twice. While Rocket Hermos Cannon allows it to attack twice and inflict piercing. The last one is Time Magic Hammer, which is for spellcasters, and its effect is pretty broken. Pretty much, at the start of the damage step, roll a dice, and then banish the monster you are attacking for end turn, end being the result of the dice. Pretty good, nonetheless. Because it stops the monster that's attacking from being killed. And then we have Fang of Citrus. Fang of Citrus is really only here for Mirror Force Dragon, Tyrant Burst Dragon. Or Critias, not Citrus, Critias. So, you use him, send a Mirror Force to the graveyard, you get Mirror Force Dragon. Mirror Force Dragon's effect is pretty dope. Like, come on. When a monster you control is targeted from an attack or card effect, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Destroy all cards your opponent controls if you target a monster for an attack or an effect. Need I say more? And send Tyrant Burst Dragon, which is a little bit more difficult to use due to the fact that Tyrant Burst is complete shit. You get Tyrant Burst Dragon, and its effect, it's an equip monster spell thingy, and its effect is the monster that you equip it to gains 400 attack and defense. Also, it can make 3 attacks during each battle phase. So, 400 attack and defense and can attack 3 times. You mix that together with Red Eye's Black Dragon Sword, you've won the game. The problem is, you need 2 separate Legendary Dragon cards. Anyway, next card is 1 Day of Peace. It's 1 Day of Peace. Each player draws a card, neither player takes damage. Protects you from OTKs, adds consistency in the deck. Gold Sarcophagus. Banish 1 card from your deck face up during second standby. During your second standby phase, add to your hand. Pretty simple. Gospel Revival for dragon decks mostly, or should I say only dragon decks. Just resurrect a dragon card and prevent one from being destroyed. Yeah, that pretty much, how do I say this? The Blue Eyes deck is going to be a force to reckon with. And for my Dark Magician deck, which I'm working on, it's going to be pretty fucking cool. Just because there's so many Dark Magician cards out there nowadays that that little stone trap card that everyone hated that allows you to summon a Dark Magician from the graveyard during either player's turn. Oh no, that was the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching. There's probably in the future going to be a Blue Eyes and Dark Magician deck profile coming up. The Blue Eyes deck profile it's going to be different. It's going to be very different. And Dark Magician deck profile, shenanigans is all I have to say. Hope you all enjoyed watching. This has been pretty much the tech cards that I found most useful to me. And I'll see you guys around. Nickredace out.
With nothing useful to say, I don't want to listen to it. Feeling the deep with the pain, I'm slowly sinking to it. Consider questionable things to try to get me through it.